Alright, everybody. It is late. It's time for another Ramen Abyss. Today, we have an interesting entry. This is going to be the CarJen. What does that say? Nyonya curry Laksa. Never heard of that before. But I think there's a couple of curries that I'm sort of becoming aware of through the course of this show. Not too many of them I'm a huge fan of. I mean, if we're talking about like the yellow curry, the green curry, the red curry, you know, you get like curry chicken on rice or something. It's like that stuff is amazing. Especially I like Thai curry. Thai curry is my favorite. But I have had some like curry flavored noodles here very recently, and oh man, some of them really threw me for a loop, let's just say. What can we tell you about this one, everybody? It's a quick and hearty meal. It is first in Malaysia with real dipping sauce. Oh, damn it. Okay, so is there a dipping sauce in here? Okay, so yeah, I was a little apprehensive of this package when I first picked it up. And now I'm even more so, because I don't think I've ever had a dipping sauce before. The secret behind every packet of CarJen lies in its authentic ingredients, blended delicately with fragrant spices for a perfect balance of appetizing flavors. The CarJen dipping sauce is a delicious and a perfect match for those who crave an extra kick in a rich curry. Okay, now, is there a sauce that's served on the side here? That's the question. Because that's pretty fucked up. There are different instructions here on the back. There's the stuff that's similar for all instant noodles. I mean, you're taking a certain amount of water. In today's case, it's 400 milliliters. Cooking that for 2 minutes. Add in the CarJen soup paste and stir evenly. Add in CarJen creamer and stir evenly. And then CarJen Nyonya curry Laksa is ready to be served with CarJen dipping sauce. So we're gonna have to see what that means once we get this thing open. It's a rather thick packet. It's not, you know, huge in length and width, but in depth, oh baby, this is it's a thick ass ramen. Let's go ahead and find out the sodium before we tell you about the packaging. Servings per pack 1. The sodium has 2 different numbers. It has 787 milligrams and then 983 milligrams. Both of these are extremely small for a ramen. I would expect double that, but it says that there's only 1 serving in the package, so we're gonna see. We're gonna see how it goes there. So what do we think about the packaging? The packaging is really cool. I mean, I like it a lot. It doesn't pop out at me huge, you know, but we do have a nice little you know, blue and red scheme back here in the background, and then we have a lot of really cool stuff going on in there on top of the noodles. Maybe an awful lot of stuff, I don't know. What are those, croutons? Full shrimp and egg? I mean, lots of different things. They all look nice. And that's strange. You guys see that there on the side? It says no MSG added. It says no MSG added, right? And it looks like that's a little sticker that's peeling off, but no, that's just like a part of the label. It looks like somebody else was peeling that off, and that is the, like, their fucking logo. That is weird as fuck. Alright. It does tell us, you know, pretty clearly what we have to do in English. It's a very small portion of the package dedicated to that, though. And it doesn't really tell us anything about the dipping sauce. It just shows little pictures of, like, you know, there's a fork scooping up some noodles. And yeah, it's just like, hey, this is ready to be served with a dipping sauce. I don't know, that might even be separate, but we will get back in just a moment. Yeah, time to go cook this thing, crack it open, see what we're working with on the inside. For the packaging, I think we should give this one a 2 out of 2. It looks really nice. What is Laksa curry? I have no idea. I'm curious. It's got enough things on the front to make me go, maybe I want to know. What is this first in Malaysia? Tell me more about this quick and hearty meal. You know, it's like, this is rather eye-catching. Good use of space. All right, so let's go give this one a cook, and we'll tell you all about it when we get back. Till then. To the pot! Okay, we are back. Quite a process. Quite a process we got going on here. You only cooked the noodles for 2 minutes, but there was some packages to open. We have the ramen itself and the dipping sauce, you guys. So let's go ahead and get a couple of glamour shots here. And of course, el dipping sasso. There's just a little bit of moisture on the plate, so the oil that was there, it just kind of like just spread out into these modern art shapes. But the dipping sauce, it really resembled the rest of the chili, or excuse me, curry paste that went into the rest of the ramen. Anything else remarkable about the cooking process? Not really. It was just like a lot of opening packets that weren't really perforated in the first place, I think. It was just like, oh god, I gotta use my teeth again for this. Yeah, right away, you can tell that there's a lot of little bits of seasoning stuck to the noodles. The curry paste was, you know, pretty thick and coarse with a lot of stuff in it. So let's see how the noodles and the seasoning go, at least. Okay. Now if you told me this is half the salt they use in normal ramen, now I would believe you. It is remarkably bland. Remarkably bland. There was also a non-dairy creamer that was put in there. You can definitely taste that present. And a little bit of spice. But otherwise, it's almost a buttery milk experience kind of thing. Like, it really doesn't represent a lot of flavor. And I'm talking like picante, you know, flavor, like beef flavor, you know, like any of that stuff. It's pretty devoid of that. What do I think about the noodles? Yeah, they're all right. Since this is probably intended to be served with the dipping sauce, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get ourselves a nice little dip over here in these little bad boys. I'll dip them a couple of times and see if that doesn't help with the flavor a little bit. Again, what a weird thing. Why wouldn't you just add a little bit more of this and then put it in the broth itself? You know? Just be like, hey, if you want the extra spicy stuff, fellas, just go ahead and add this extra packet. But no, it's like, hey, this is going on a plate. Am I supposed to do anything extra with the dipping sauce? It didn't instruct me to, so I don't know. I'm a little confused by all this. All right, let's see what that dipping sauce does. I don't know, man. I don't know. Again, things are still a little underwhelming. Quite a bit underwhelming, I would say. How do I feel about the noodles? Noodles are good. I'm gonna give those a 5. They're nothing fantastic. They remind me of noodles that are a little bit better than Marjan. Not so strikingly better that they get good ratings. The broth is weak. Broth is weak and creamy. And that's almost like, I don't know, a hot cereal. We're gonna give this thing a good like stir around in this dipping paste. Let's see if that doesn't like blow our socks off with some kind of flavor. Broth on this one, I'm really not impressed. We're gonna go in for a little bit of it by itself. You can tell all the hot stuff is floating right there on the top because I just got a throat full of it. The broth itself, it kind of tastes a little peanutty, definitely a little creamy, just a little bit of spicy. It's really underwhelming. That's gonna be the key word of the day, everybody. Underwhelming broth. It's definitely pleasant in the direction it's going, but I mean, is this flavorful enough to put other things in it? I'm gonna do it, you know. I'm going to be putting some tofu and some fish cake into this bad boy. I can't count on it to flavor my tofu or flavor the fish cakes very much, you know. And I'm used to eating, you know, just like plain old tofu, and I could definitely eat a plain old fish cake, but I kind of want something stronger to season my toppings, for goodness sakes. So well steeped in the dipping sauce. Might have even stirred up a little bit in the noodles here. Let's go ahead and do that. Just throw a dab of it right there on top. That definitely adds some extra flavor. Kind of weird. Like, is that supposed to be a seafood or something? If you just used up like all of the dipping sauce with the scant amount of noodles that it gives you, that's probably going to be something that you'll enjoy. I don't know, maybe even just throw it in the broth? I don't know. This is the way that the manufacturer had intended to serve it, you know? So it's like having this extra dipping sauce, like receptacle and stuff. It seems like a kind of a lot to do. Kind of a big ado about nothing. Really hoping it didn't go out of circulation like the last pricing did. All right, everybody. This is just a little reminder that this is kind of the only price we could find for the CarJen Nyonya Curry Laksa, which is 490 Malaysian ringgits, which comes out to a little over $1. Is it worth that? Definitely not. You could find a lot of better stuff out there, and you won't have to convert your dollars to ringgits. So, as we know, a little over $1. I think it was like $1.20 or something like that. So without shipping or handling, that is $1.21 a unit, putting it about at the 5 out of 10 price range. Nothing fantastic, and definitely not worth the money. Yeah, the broth on this one we're giving a 4 because it's underwhelming. It's not offensive, but I couldn't buy it again because there's just not enough flavor here, baby. Bonuses on this bad boy. It's got to be substantial. You got a dipping sauce, you got a creamer, you got the Laksa curry itself. So we give that an extra 2 bonus points because, you know, they went through some effort to put that in there. It's just, it's not really delivering there at the end. I know this is kind of low salt as far as a ramen goes, but it wouldn't be a reason to get it just for that. No. So in closing, the CarJen Laksa curry ramen is it's definitely an interesting experience, but it's not one that I would say is very flavorful, even with all this extra work, you know, transferring your noodles from one dish to another just so you can dip them and stuff. It's like, I don't know here, baby. It's a lot of work, and even when they're in the dipping sauce, it's just like not kind of worth it. There's a little flavor of something else there too, like a little barnyard or seafood thing going on. Low tide seafood. We're gonna give this one a pass. I wouldn't say hit this one up for a good time. Unless you know this particular kind of curry and you think it's, you know, gonna be something that you enjoy, because I like other kind of curries, you guys, and they really provide a lot of flavor and a lot of heat. And, you know, this one made a decent attempt on the heat, but boy, its flavor is just lackluster as all get out. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of the Ramen Abyss. It was, like I said, underwhelming, but hey, we can hope for more next time, right? Until then, we will see you next time, everybody. Probably on Cold Moon. That's where you'll be seeing me. Have a great night, everybody. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching, everybody. And an even bigger thanks goes out to the people still supporting me on Patreon. You guys are amazing, and I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for continuing your support. It really motivates me to keep me going. Also, remember to catch me on Twitch every day except Tuesdays and Saturdays, 5 to 10 p.m. I play loads of Binding of Isaac and Jackbox and other things too. Hope to see you there.